So this morning, with that in mind, I'm glad that we could come to the Lord in prayer. And now I'd just like to begin a new series. And this new series I've called Time is Ticking Away. Time is Ticking Away. And the subtitle is How to Make the Most of Your Time. And today is part 1 of 5, which is just kind of an introduction, just kind of a trying to get the ball rolling with things. And so I want to get the ball rolling a bit this morning. And it being introduction, this morning we're not going to get into the principles so much yet, but we're just going to kind of just begin asking some questions really about how to make the most of our time. How many of us have enough time to do all of the things that we felt like we needed doing this past week? If you know, how often have we said, I just don't have enough time to get things done? We think about our time, we think about all the things we have to do, and most of us at one point or another, we go, I just don't have enough time in the day for this. And, that kind of is a challenge for us, isn't it? Because time is a consumable. It's something that's gone, and once it's used up, you don't get it back. And so we want to think about our time and how we're spending it, especially at the time we're living in, because let's face it, right now we have the COVID-19 virus. We have more time at home because we have no choice. A lot of states have basically closed down and are telling their people stay home unless it's absolutely necessary that you go out. I know for me, the main trips out that I've made have been to the grocery store. I've made trips to the grocery store for my parents. I've made trips to the grocery store for me and Cindy. And so those have been the main trips that we've made out during this time because we're trying to be obedient. We're trying to obey what the governor has said and what they're encouraging us to do. Well, you would think because of that, we're going, oh, I have all this time now, and how am I going to spend it? And yet somehow, I don't know about you, but somehow I still manage to use up all my time, and I still find myself going, I just don't have enough time to get everything done. Now, why is that? And so this week in these devotions, I want to look at this from a spiritual viewpoint. And I want to guide us in looking at it from the scriptures. What do the scriptures say about our time on this earth and the time that we've been given? Let me ask this question. Does God give us enough time to do the things He wants us to do? Let me just mention that. Does God give us enough time to do the things that He wants us to do? And I think that's a good question to ask, because that question in and of itself challenges me. It challenges me to ask, am I doing the things that God wants me to do? And so I feel like that's where some of the rub is with this issue is, what am I doing? Am I doing the things that the Lord really wants me to do? Time is ticking away. And so if God gives us enough time to do the things that He wants us to do, then what's really the problem here? What's really the problem? Could it be that we're not doing the things that God desires for us to do? Could that be the answer? That maybe we're busy with many things, but the many things we're busy with aren't the things that God said, I want you to do, Chris, or I want you to do, and fill in your name for that. And so I think maybe during this time I have to step back, and I would encourage you to step back as well and just ask the question, am I doing the things that I'm sure the Lord wants me to be doing during this time? And what we're going to do this week, we're going to look at God's principles from His Word for making the most of your time. There's 4 principles. We'll start into those principles tomorrow, and we'll cover the first one of those tomorrow, and then we'll do one each day. Today was just the introduction, but we'll be taking a look at those 4 principles. And I hope in looking at those 4 principles that the Lord will really challenge us in how we use our time, that we might use it with more intentionality, that we may be more conscientious of the way that we use our time, that the way in which we use it, we would make sure and want it to be pleasing to Him. And so thank you for joining me today. I appreciate those who have. And I hope you'll join with me each day this week as we ask that question, how do I make the most of my time